Hey everyone, Iron Spider-Man here with another comic book video. This time it's going to be basically September, October, and November. Just some CGC and CBCS books I've picked up from Comic Link and My Comic Shop, and a couple from eBay. So thought I'd share it, and yeah, let's just dive right in. So, Amazing Spider-Girl #1. This is the black and white sketch cover. I don't know if this is like a 1 in 15, 1 in 25, but really cool book. As you can see, there's some signatures on there. So, I bought this on Comic Link for like $60. It was already signed by Ron Frenz and Sal Buscema. Which they signed in black, which I thought was odd. You'd think they'd sign in a color, but, So, Tom DeFalco was doing an in-house CGC signing, so I sent this in for him, and he signed in gold right there. I was really hoping he would have just kept the black like the other three, or red. I think red would have looked really good on this cover, but either way, really cool. None of it really takes away from the artwork. None of it's covering her, like right over her face or anything. All the signatures are neatly placed. So I'm really happy with this. Great book, great character. Wish we saw more of her. This was a book you guys kind of saw a preview of in my last Steel City Con haul. This is the Amazing Spider-Man movie adaptation. I had the in-house signing with Andrew Garfield already, but this time, I added Martin Sheen's signature to this when he came to the Steel City Con near me. And right here, he signed it Martin Sheen, and I had him write "not choice, responsibility," which is part of the big spiel he gives Peter in the movie. And then he wrote Uncle Ben underneath it. So I like how they wrote signed and inscribed by Martin Sheen. Usually they put the whole thing on the CGC label, what they wrote, but they probably couldn't read it because it is a little chicken scratchy, but that's okay. Really happy with it either way. Now, if only Emma Stone would do a signing, that'd be great. Another book from Steel City Con, where I got to meet Kevin Eastman back in August. This was a blank cover. He did all four turtle heads and then signed at the bottom there. Excuse me. And so, yeah, of course, this got a 9.8. I wasn't really expecting it to not, so I'm really happy with that. So, Batman 135. Now, this is a bit of a story here. This is the foil edition, the black foil edition, with the classic logo. Kind of hard to see in the camera, but... So, I bought this, I believe on eBay for about $120 at, I think, summer 2023. Like, end of July, August 2023. So, a year and a few months ago. I sent this in for the Michael Keaton in-house signing. Well, so I'm pretty sure it was like early to mid-August I sent this in. It's like beginning of October, and because I had sent a few packages in, and I realized this book wasn't ever logged in on the submission tracking. So I go back, I was like, I know I sent that. So I pull up the ticket, because I save all the tickets that like you get generated when you make a CGC order. So I pull that up, try typing that in, nothing comes up. I call and email them. They have no record of it. It was never checked in. I don't have the post office slip either. Go to the post office. I'm like, hey, if I sent something, but I don't have the tracking number anymore, are you able to reprint it? They can't. So I'm feeling really screwed. So I have the original CGC ticket. It said I put the order in. It was like August 7th or 8th at like 7 p.m. So I was like, okay, well, I couldn't have sent it in the post office that night, so it had to be the next day. Do lost for mail report, they have nothing. I do it for the day after the next day, nothing. I do a third one, they have nothing. So I'm just like, all right, I guess I don't know what happened to it. The post office took it, lost it, or CGC, something happened somewhere, and I just got screwed. So I get an email end of this past October, so over a year later. One of the reps were like, hey, we have your book. We found, unfortunately, it wasn't signed by Michael Keaton. I'm like, yeah, no shit, because you guys have had it. I'm like, so it was at CGC. So I emailed the guy back, like, look, I'm happy that you have the book and you're sending it back to me. Oh, they asked me if, well, we could regrade it for you, but it'll be a fee, da-da-da-da-da. So I go, look, I'm trying not to be upset here, because I'm glad you do have it, but I sent it in here, I did this, I reported all these tickets, no one was helpful, no one could do anything, and now you have it. Where has it been this whole time? Like, where did you find this book all of a sudden? And they emailed me in 20 minutes without telling me where it was found. They just said, it's a 9.8, it will be encapsulated, you'll get it in 2 days. And again, great. I mean, it's their mess up anyway. I should have gotten it back in a 9.8 case for free anyway. But where was it? Has this ever happened to anybody? Like, this is the first weird thing I've ever had with CGC, where it's just bizarre. I'm like, so where was the book the whole time? How did you miss it? And how a year later do you still have it? And it's untouched. Like, where did it go? Just so bizarre. I just wanted to share. I mean, I'm happy I have it back. Small miracles, but just weird. Friday the 13th, number 1, by Wildstorm. So I now have Halloween number 1, Friday the 13th number 1. I believe Nightmare on Elm Street number 1. So the only one I really need now is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the 9.8. Then I have all of them. It'd be really cool if, like, those actors start coming to shows more. Get some signatures on these books. That'd be pretty nice. That Friday book was kind of expensive. It was like $120 I had to pay for it. Iron Man 55. This is from Volume 3. This is where Tony Stark reveals his identity as Iron Man officially to the public. It is also signed, as you can see there, and it's by Mike Grell, who is the writer and some of the art on here. So really cool. There was one of these that was signed by Stan Lee I missed out on because it just got too expensive for me. So I'm glad I have that book signed in some capacity. This is a book I've been hunting for like most of this year. It's Invincible Iron Man number 10 from the Matt Fraction run. The second printing, which was like super hot for a while. Then I think after like Endgame it really cooled down. Now it's not an expensive book, but like you just can't find it. I can't find it in 9.8. I won this for $20. I was like, all right, Matt Fraction signature, I can live with that. And honestly, I mean, there's 2 spine ticks on it, but the rest of it's pretty nice. So I don't know. Maybe if I send in for a reholder, they would maybe bump it 1 or so. I'm not sure. Spawn number 15, 9.8. Just filling in some Spawn books covers I think are cool. I'm up to issue 78 reading wise, so enjoying it so far. 49, just a really cool, gross looking cover. Some of the Spawn covers are really great. This book I bought for, in a couple weeks, Tom Kenny, who's the voice of SpongeBob, is going to be at Steel City Con near me. And I bought this for him to sign because I couldn't find number 1. So I bought this, and what do you know, 3 days later, number 1 came up on Comic Link under the exchange buying, and I bought it under there. So now I have 2 books. I'm probably not going to have him sign this. I'll just have him sign the number 1, because that's like the key, the more valuable one. Not that I plan on selling it. It's going to stay with me. SpongeBob's was a big part of my childhood. So, but yeah, in general, though, I think this is just a fun, bizarre cover. It's just a mishmash. Squidward and SpongeBob, Sandy and Patrick, Gary and Plankton, Mr. Krabs and Karen the wife. And then on the back, there's even more. Mrs. Puff and Pearl, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy are switched. Larry and the Flying Dutchman, and then SpongeBob and Squidward's house. It's a fun book. I didn't even know they did SpongeBob comics until about a year ago. So, pretty interesting. Superior Carnage #1. This is the 1 in 25 Chichetto variant. I won this for $40 on my comic shop, which was pretty nice. Really cool, really creepy cover. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #10. This is from the IDW run. This was also my comic shop win. Again, it was around like $30-40. I was really happy, and I didn't understand why no one bid. Then I got the book, and you can tell they're that corner right there, like a mini dog ear. So this, to me, is not a 9/8 book. I should have looked at the picture more. That's my fault. But a little disappointing. But, I mean, at least I have a copy. I'm trying to fill that entire run in. Oh, there's 2 non-color breaking spine ticks on here, too. How did this get a 9/8? Whatever. I've asked myself that on a lot of books. Wolverine 107. This was just a really cool cover I liked. So, I figured, why not? Wolverine 131. This is the recalled edition. It was recalled because famously Wolverine calls Sabretooth a kike in this book. And that means it's basically a slur towards a Jewish person. But, yeah, the editor or whoever thought, it was supposed to say killer. He didn't, I guess, couldn't read it, or some was smudged on the paper, so he wrote kike. Which, yikes. But, yeah, that's like a famous recalled book. Wolverine The Origin #1 and an old CGC label. Love those. 9.8. The Origin of Wolverine. Wolverine Weapon X #4. This is the David Finch variant. I really like David Finch Wolverine. I mean, he's a great artist in general, but I really like his Wolverine. Wolverine #10, the Ryan Stegman variant. Love Ryan Stegman there. Love the drop of blood coming from his mouth. This one I don't have in a sleeve yet because I ran out. But Wolverine 11, also the Ryan Stegman variant. And Wolverine 42, the Art Adams variant. I got this for about $80. This was a really nice pickup in my opinion. I've been on a bit of a Wolverine kick since Deadpool and Wolverine came out. So now we get to my personal favorite book out of this entire purchase. I cannot believe what I got this for. It wasn't cheap, obviously, but it wasn't, I don't think, anywhere near what it should have gone for, but I'll let you guys, please. This is a book, if I've ever wanted to discuss anything in the comments, this is a book I want to discuss. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 63, 9/8 CBCS. It is signed by Kevin Eastman and all 4 of the voice actors for the Turtles in the 1980s cartoon. So there's Leonardo, Don, Raph, Mikey, and the Kevin Eastman with the head sketch. So I just want to closer look. Oh, a lot of quotes that give them Shell, Don, Cowabunga, Mikey, Rob Paulson, Turtle Power. So just a really cool, all back in 2019. Really cool book. Now, so I was discussing this with a friend of mine. So I paid $143 for this. I was watching it at work the one night. I could not believe this did not go for closer to $500. I mean, again, if I'm wrong or that sounds absurd, please let me know. But this friend I was showing this with and talking about it, he asked me what I thought this was worth. Now, again, I'm going to explain my process and what I think it's worth or should be worth. Granted, I get it. Like, if I throw it on eBay and it sells for $300 or whatever, it's worth that. It's worth whatever someone's willing to pay. What I think this, I'm gonna tell you my thought process and walk you through everything. And again, please disagree, please agree, please tell me what your thoughts are. If you think I'm right, wrong, whatever. If you have a different opinion, please, because we're always learning, always expanding and adapting in this hobby. So this is what I thought. This book is a Rhode Island Comic-Con 2016 exclusive variant. Now, I like the shows near me, they don't do exclusive books like this, or they're not big enough to have that like kind of mark, I guess. So, and I could be wrong, I don't know, I didn't go to this convention, I've never even been to Rhode Island. I think, or I assume, stuff like this, because they used to do it with Walking Dead, I know, at shows, this is like a freebie, like a free handout book. Again, I could be wrong, I don't know, I didn't go there, you might have had to pay for it as an exclusive, I'm not sure. But I kind of assume some of these are like free. So on eBay right now, the lowest you could get it would be like $35, $40. I'll conservatively say $30. So you have to pay $30 to get this book. So $30 for the book. Each signature from the voice actor. Now, even like the cheap, low community cons or again, I consider the cons near me just smaller shows. I don't see anyone under $50 ever. The only one I did see under $50 was Kevin Eastman for just his signature, but it was $50 to get the signature and the head sketch. So 5 signatures with extra stuff on it, which you don't see a ton of in my opinion. I tried looking this up. I don't see a ton of them where they're writing like Leonardo, Cowabunga, Turtle Power. Again, I could be wrong. I didn't see any when I was Google imaging and eBaying. So 5 signatures, let's say $50 a piece, $250 plus the $30 to buy the book. Like if I want to buy it on eBay to do this, basically I tried walking through like what would it cost for me to get this book now? So we're at $280, $30 for the book, $250 for the signatures, $280. Then to get it encapsulated is going to be $20, so that's $300. CBCS has to do, now these are witness signatures. I think it's a charge per signature if I'm not mistaken. I probably could have looked that up, but I didn't. But if it's a witness or verified, I'm pretty sure they charge per signature. So let's say that's $20 on the cheap, to be conservative. That's another $100. So we're at $400 minimum, in my opinion, just to get this book, just to get the book, get the signatures, get it witnessed, verified, and get it graded. Oh, then shipping back. So $420-ish, we'll say. A little over $400. That doesn't also include, not that probably a lot of people don't take this into account, the ticket to buy, to get into the convention, the time to, taking off work days to go to this convention, waiting in line, all of that. So I think just to get this done, it would be with everything included. I'm talking the signatures, the waiting, the buying the ticket, everything. Keeping all of that in mind, I think this would be closer to $500 just to get it in the form it is now, graded with the gold label, all the signatures on the book. To me, if I'm doing all of this, or if it costs me $500 to get a special book and signed and all that stuff, I'm looking to at least double my money. Now, granted, that doesn't always happen all the time. Adding signatures in a book doesn't automatically shoot up the value a crazy number, and I get that. But I think with the rarity of what this is, because I did see on eBay books just with the 4 voice actors' signatures. No Leonardo, Raph, and quotes, just their signatures. It was on it was like a Chromium Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1 reprint, or a foil cover number 1. Just that alone with their 4 signatures, I was seeing go for $500 to $575. This has Kevin Eastman on it, with quotes, with the turtle head, with with an exclusive variant that homages the first comic, Archie, or the first Ninja Turtle comic that was based on the original show where these voice actors worked on. To me, I think this is a $1,000 to $1,200 book, in my opinion. I think it should also, I kind of think it should be more than that, but I think if I were to sell this or put it up for auction or put it up at a convention, this would be a $1,000 book, in my opinion. Let me know what you think about that. Tell me, am I crazy? I don't think with the calculating to get, it's about $400 to $500 just to get it done. I'm pretty sure I'm accurate on that. But just value-wise, again, I know it's whatever someone's willing to pay. I believe, all 4 voice actors, I believe, are still alive. They're still doing shows. I don't know how often, but, I think also, too, not that I'm hoping for this, obviously, but, if any of them start to pass away or when all 4 of them do, then you're never going to get it again. This, I think, would shoot up to maybe $1,500, $2,000 at that point. But, again, please, I'd love to discuss this because I really don't know. I try to calculate as accurately as I can and be like, well, it cost me this. I would have to make a profit. I couldn't see taking less than, if I was the person that did all of this, cost me $500, I wouldn't want to see less than $8 minimum. But again, I paid $143 for that. I think that's a steal price. Nothing cheap, but it's less than half of what it would take to get it in this, in the case and signed and everything. So please let me know what you think below. This is definitely, I'm very ecstatic to have this as a Ninja Turtle collector. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Tell me what your favorite book of the bunch was. Tell me what you think of this. And I'll see you guys in the next video.